Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Libor Ansorge and I am from TG Masaryk Water Research Institute in Prague. My presentation is focused on the effect of anti-pandemic measures onto consumption of water from the public water supply systems, and for the study we select the city of Brno as a case study. In my presentation, I will show you aims of the study. I will describe a drinking water service area. In next part, I describe data which were used for analysis. Short description is focused on the anti-pandemic measures in the Czech Republic. And in the last two parts, I show you results and conclusions from our study. Several authors described expectation of change in water consumption in the urban agglomerations during the anti-pandemic measures. Before we start our study, we established three aims of the study. First, can we confirm that the expected increase of water consumption by households and the decrease by other users during the anti-pandemic measures? The second, are changes in water consumption in urban agglomeration important from the water resource management as well? And the last, are we able to decide which anti-pandemic measures have an important impact on water consumption? For our study, we select city of Brno, which is situated in the south part of Czech Republic and is also the second highest city in the Czech Republic. Drinking water supply system in this service area is operated by the stock company Brněnské vodárny a kanalizace, and this company provided data for our study. The service area covers city of Brno and also towns Modřice and Kuřim and surrounding villages. The total population supplied by water in the service area is more than 400,000 inhabitants. The specific water consumption in 2020 was more than 100 liters per inhabitant a day, and the total length of main water supply network is about 1,400 kilometers. The service area is divided into 4 sub-areas, but how you can see on the picture on the right side, the core sub-area is city of Brno, which represents more than 92% of total consumption in the service area. We collect data from 2015 to 2020 on monthly basis, and it is also important to say that 2/3 of consumption is covered by households and about 1/3 of consumption is consumed by other consumers. On left side, you can see total water consumption in the service area between 2015 and 2020. More interesting is a picture on the right side, because you can see that only in the core sub-area in the city of Brno, the water consumption decreased in 2020, and all three subparts of sub-areas doesn't change amount of water consumed. In the Czech Republic, we had 2 lockdowns in 2020. First started in March 2020, and the strictest measures was applied in the end of March and start of April. In the second half of April, the Czech government outlines a 5-step plan for reopening society, and in reality the lockdown was totally finished in the start of June. The second lockdown started in October 2020 and in reality was finished in March 2021. It's important to say that first lockdown, in the strictest 14 days, there were really stopped whole society. During the second lockdown, there was several measures, but the society wasn't stopped in all, only restricted. Uh, Unfortunately, the second wave of coronavirus was worse than the first, and in reality, Czech government applied new measures. Only in the start of December, some of strictness restrictions were eased due to preparing of society to Christmas holidays. That was political decision, and in reality it made the pandemic wave worse. And in the December 23rd, the strictness restrictions were reintroduced again. On the left side, you can see consumption by households and in individual use, and you can see that the consumption during lockdowns increased during both lockdowns. During the first lockdown, this is different trend than in years before, but in the second lockdown, the trend is the same. During the autumn months, the water consumption increased in all years. Different situation is shown on picture on the right side, because you can see dramatical drop down of consumption during the lockdowns in comparison to years before, and also you can see change of trend in the months where the anti-pandemic measures were eased, April and December. Here you can see compounded chart. I would like repeat that the 2/3 of consumption is consumed by households and 1/3 is consumed by other consumers. What we can conclude, during both waves of lockdown, water consumption by households increased but still fluctuated in values from previous years. Lockdown decreased water consumption by other consumers between 8% and 24% in individual months, and in comparison to minimal, respectively maximal values from years before. And total annual consumption by other consumer decrease between 5% and 14%, again in comparison to minimal, respectively maximal values from years 2015-2019. Total annual consumption by all consumers decreased only between 1.6 and 4.7%. It's really not important decreasing. Unfortunately, it is hard to say what measures are the most important from the perspective of water consumption during the lockdown, because our data are insufficient for detailed analysis of the effect of individual anti-pandemic measures. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. And now it's time for your questions.